Okay. I'm going to find that you qualify. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions for me, Mr. Bickers?
Is all them misdemeanors?
Yes, sir. They're all misdemeanors. The bond that's been set for the most is for the battery, but everything else is $1,000 or $2,000.
Yes, sir. So how long do you think I have to sit before, if I don't bond out, how long do you think I would have to sit?
Well, this is the end of the week, but I know for cases like this, believe it or not, I've seen people gotten arrested 2 more times because they were able to get out. And they're like, if you're willing to plead guilty to this, they'll put you on the first calendar and get it resolved. They're also trying to work with people as it relates to bond issues because of the COVID situation.
I don't have I have nobody to bond me out. I don't even have a job right now because of the COVID, but I don't have nobody that can bond me out.
Okay. So I've appointed a lawyer, and I would seriously advise you to speak to the lawyer as quickly as possible about your case. The law firm is Lister, Lister, and Holt, Holt. They will be able to get you on a calendar pretty quickly.
How do they get in touch with me, or do I get in touch with them?
Yes. So how that works is I complete the paperwork today. I send your information over to them today, and they get it, and they will, reach out to you. I just don't know when, because I don't have control over that. And the reason I give you the name is so that if you're here for a day or two and you haven't heard from somebody, you can call them and say, hey, I need to speak to a lawyer.
There isn't no way I can get like an OR bond?
No, sir.
All right. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. Okay, let's switch back over to the ladies' side. Is this Miss Warren?
Yeah.
Okay, ma'am, when were you arrested?
Tuesday night.
Okay.
Early Wednesday morning.
Okay, and the reason I asked is I was trying to find your information in our system as it relates to what calendar you may have been placed on. So is this the first time that you've been brought before a judge?
Since I've been locked up from yesterday?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Okay. I am going to set a bond on this charge at $2,000. Do you believe you can post that bond?
I don't even know how much. I don't even know how much will I have to pay.
Okay. You'll have to pay a percentage of the bond, and the bonding companies are the ones that will tell you what fee. So I can't tell you it'll be X number based upon this, because a bonding company may go lower, they may go higher as it relates to their fee. So you're going to have to contact them and tell them your name, tell them your charge, and tell them your bond amount, and then they will tell you what fee that they will charge. Okay? You're going to have a preliminary hearing date that's going to be set for June 1st at 8:30 in the morning. That date is going to get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll get a new court date in the mail. I'm also going to put a special condition on this bond to stay away from a Zenovia battle.
That's why I'm trying to figure out how am I supposed to do that when I got other kids. I don't have nowhere to go. Like, DFAX is supposed to be coming to the house, but she called DFAX. DFAX is supposed to be coming to the house yesterday. I was supposed to be speaking with DFAX to remove her out of the household.
So I don't have any access to that information, ma'am. When you have a person charged with either criminal trespass, damage of property, simple battery, simple assault, and they are in close proximity to each other, we place a stay away provision on the bond initially.
So I can't go back to my own house and my other kids. How am I supposed to go to work and take care of my other kids? That's what I'm trying to figure out. Like, where am I gonna go? Where are my kids gonna go? I don't have nowhere for them to go. I don't have nowhere to go. So I have an unruly child. I was at work. How did I get charged with anything? I was at work. How can I let her in the house when I'm at work?
Okay.
So I kept asking the officer, like, how am I gonna let her in the house? I'm at work. And I told him, y'all go ahead and do whatever y'all gotta do. My other kids let her in the house, so how did I get charged with anything? And like I told the officer, how am I getting charged with something? And she keep coming to the house. You 17, you remind her, you come to the house at 4 o'clock in the morning, like you grown. Like, she keep coming out at 2 and 3 o'clock in the morning. She came in at the time that she's supposed to come in. Why she keep coming out at 2 and 3 o'clock in the morning? And I wasn't even at home. I was at work.
Discuss your case right now. It's not discussing case. Look.
It's crazy. Like, I'm trying to think. I'm not gonna be able to go to a house that I pay rent for and I pay bills. Here she's a minor. Like, I got other kids at the house. I got her daughter, my granddaughter. Like, what am I supposed to do? Like, am I not supposed to go home? What am I supposed to do? God giving me no other choice. Like, I don't know what to do.
Okay, Ms. Warren, are you ready?
Yeah.
Do you believe you can listen and to what everything I have to say, okay? I want you to take a deep breath first. So these charges were drawn out by an Officer Mendez, and she got a judge to sign an order to arrest you for a criminal trespass. And the order was signed April 13th. And the allegation is that, listen to me, ma'am. I see you ready to talk. I want you to listen. The allegation is that on April 2nd, that you locked Zenobia Battle out of the house that she lives in. That forms a criminal trespass. And what it means is that you interfere with her ability to come back into the house, okay? If she's an unruly child, there are steps that you can take to deal with that that would be lawful. And they don't include locking her out of the house. It includes going to juvenile court or contacting DFACS and say that you have an unruly child that needs to be removed from the home. And then someone from DFACS will come to the home and they will remove her from the home as an unruly child. That's the lawful way to do what it appears that you were attempting to do. Okay? As it relates to her being in the home, because she's listed as a victim, I cannot lawfully kick her out of the house. The only thing I can do is put conditions on the person that is before me, who I'm granting a bond to, so that that person can act accordingly. This can get resolved tomorrow. All the solicitor office wants to hear is that there's not a danger to Ms. Battle. There's not a danger of police having to get called back out to the house because a new dispute has taken place. So that's why I have to put the stay away provision on the bond. It's not to kick you out of the home. It's to try to calm everything down so that there's no danger to you. There's no danger to your children. Everything is handled in the way that it's supposed to be handled, not in the way that someone may choose to handle it. I don't think you've, or maybe you have noticed, well, you probably didn't because you weren't here, but the majority of the cases I have are people, adults in their home beating on each other. And then the police get called and somebody go to jail. And then the first question that is said to me is the question that you say. That's my house. I pay the rent, or I live there. That person's living with me. Okay, the way to resolve disputes is not to go physical. It's to use the legal processes that are open and available to you. That way you get to sleep in your bed every night. You don't have to worry about posting bond. You don't have to worry about doing the things that you are now having to worry about. Okay? So I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. You now have a $2,000 bond, which means that it'll probably be $300 through a bonding company to post out, somewhere around there. Once you bond out, make arrangements with the sheriff's department so that you can go back to your home and get your items. And I don't know, because I can't advise you to go back and live in the home and all of that kind of stuff. I can only tell you that currently the condition that is placed on you is to stay away from Miss Battle. If Miss Battle is gone from the home, you can be there. If Miss Battle is at the home, you cannot be there. So I hope I've demystified this a little bit. I hope I've given you an opportunity to understand what's going on so that you can make the correct decisions moving forward so that this will be resolved. Okay? This isn't a murder. This isn't the worst thing in the world. And I know having your freedom taken away is a traumatic thing, but you can move beyond this. Okay, ma'am? All right. You're free to go back.
Excuse me, Your Honor.
Yes.
You did say it was possible to put Ms. Vasquez on the calendar for tomorrow?
Yes, I'm gonna do a continuance order. And just remember, like the sooner we know that we need somebody, the sooner I can make that phone call. We get on the list first.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Okay. I'm gonna continue her case.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Have a good day.
You as well, sir.
All right. Let's switch. Let's go over to the men.
Yes, sir. Jen.
Are you Mr. Ben? Are you Mr. Ben?
Sir.
Okay, Mr. Ben, you've been charged with one count of DUI, second offense, one count of driving on the wrong side of the road, and one count of a registration or license plate violation. I have to set the bond for the second DUI at $10,000. $500 bond for driving on the wrong side of the road, and $1,000 bond for the registration and license plate infraction. So you're gonna have a total bond of $11,500. Do you believe you can post that bond?
Yes, sir, but I never had no other DUI. That got to be my dad. I'm a junior.
Okay, hold on. Let me check again.
I never had no DUI. This is my first time being locked up.
Okay, I'm gonna check, Mr. Ben. Okay, you're right. So I'm going to reduce that $10,000 bond to $5,000 on the DUI. So you're going to have a total bond of $6,500.
All right. Like the registration, I did the pre-registration. I got 30 days to go get my tag and my registration.
The allegation here is that you changed address and didn't, or that you didn't register the vehicle within 7 days.
No, I left the vehicle at his house and it wasn't driving. So it was registered on the 8th. It was sold to me on the 8th, but he signed the title in the wrong spot. So I did the pre-registration online.
Okay.
I got a confirmation number and everything. So I was gonna do that, but I work every day. I get off after the time that the tag office open. So when I went to pick up my truck, yes, I had a beer and a shot, and I tried to get the truck out of the main yard.
Okay. Do you want me to appoint a lawyer for you, Mr. Ben?
Sure.
Okay, I'm going to appoint a lawyer for you. You do qualify. You're going to have a preliminary hearing date set for June 1st at 8:30 in the morning. That date is going to get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Get that documentation together that you just told me about and share that with the lawyer, and at least that charge will be dismissed.
Yeah, then I was breaking down, so that's why I was on the wrong side of the road. I was pulling to the side of the road.
Okay, Mr. Ben, you're pleading your case to the wrong person.
How much is the bond?
It'll be probably $650 to $750, somewhere within there. But like I tell everybody, you got to call the bonding company because they'll tell you what fee they'll charge.
All right, sir.
Okay.
Black here. Take your name to the judge.
How you doing, sir?
Hi, tell your name, sir.
Michael Eric Blackier.
Okay, sir, you're charged with one count of terroristic threat or act. You're charged with one count of terroristic threat or act. I set the bond at $3,000. Do you believe you can post that bond?
I want to say guilty with an explanation, if I may.
I can't take a guilty plea right here. So this is a point where I tell you the charges. I appoint a lawyer to assist you if you want one, and I give you new court dates. And so that's all we're doing right now. So this is live, which means it's on the internet. And I don't want you to say anything that your lawyer theoretically says, hey, sir, this charge can get thrown out. But you said something before me that hurts your case. So instead of your case getting totally dismissed, you're stuck with making an admission against your interests.
In the last 40 years in Clayton County, I've been charged 12 times, beat all the charges, sir. And this is another one here. The guy was doing verbal combat on the porch with me. I was out trimming the bushes. We got bright lights outside at 10 o'clock at night. I'm trimming the bushes. He comes out by the mailbox, and I walk up to him and I said, you know, I told him before, I said, if you're able to join the military like the rest of us are, he's been here since he was about 5 or 6. I think illegal alien maybe. And I said, if you can't show me your green card, I might hit you or I will hit you. And the cop come and asked me, he said, did you say that? I said, yes, sir, I did. Because I want to be as truthful as possible. Anybody that's illegal in this country, it's not my responsibility, but I go out and clean up the neighborhood, volunteer with Clayton County Water and others. I was trying to do a synopsis, but I'm sorry. Yes, sir.
So sir, I've set a bond at $3,000. Do you believe you can post that bond?
10 times over right now, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. So this is a felony offense that you're being charged with. And so these charges, you're going to have a preliminary hearing date set for June 2nd at 8:30 in the morning. Upon your bonding out, the case will get sent over to Superior Court. Do you plan on hiring your own lawyer?
I don't think so. We did a CT. I started with CT, and then he did a CT on me. So they're angry at me and my family. Yeah. No. Well, can I get a public defender?
Yes, sir. Did you fill out one of the forms?
I believe so. And I want a indigent attorney and a indigent jury trial or whatever, and also an indigent investigator if we can.
Okay. So I've appointed the indigent the office that does indigent defense. I've appointed them to represent you. They're going to be in contact with you. Okay.
So they got an investigator I can get also?
Yes, sir.
Okay, an investigator, and I want to do a jury trial. And let me tell you a little something, if I may. He's been living there 15 years. We buy presents for each other. Yeah, I thank you, sir.
You're free to go back.
Hey.
Come here, sir. Okay, Mr. Broadnex, you're charged with one count of possession of marijuana less than an ounce and one count of driving a vehicle without a valid license. You're gonna have a total bond set at $2,500. Can you post that bond, sir? Okay. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you do qualify, sir. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. You're gonna have a preliminary hearing date set for June 1st at 8:30 in the morning. That date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Do you have any questions for me?
I do, sir. I just want to know, can I sign? I've never been in trouble before, sir. This is my first time getting the weed charge. So I just want to know, if I can't be able to bond out, can I sign my own bond? You know what I'm saying?
That's possible. I have to get permission from my boss. So if you want me to continue your case over to tomorrow, I can request that, and whatever she says is what she says.
Yes, I can do that. So what you're saying is I will come see you again tomorrow.
Yes, sir.
Okay, sir. I can do that.
Okay, now keep in mind she may say no, but at least you'll have an answer.
Okay.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna continue to till tomorrow.
Okay, thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
All right.
Yes, sir.
Good morning, or almost afternoon. Are you Mr. Clem?
Sir.
Okay, sir, you've been charged with 1 count of aggravated assault and 1 count of stalking. I'm going to deny the bond in the aggravated assault because of the allegation that you shot at Mr. Holsey. I'm going to set a bond at $5,000 for the stalking charge. There's going to be a stay away provision on this bond to stay away from Randall Holsey. I am giving you a preliminary hearing date for June 2nd at 8:30 in the morning. I'm also giving you a bond hearing date, June 4th at 8:30 in the morning. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
No, sir. I'll get my wife and everything to do the lawyer for me, but the allegations and everything is dealing with a whole high profile case. And I'm working, and I feel as though if I can get out and get back to work and get my lawyer, I'll be able to deal with what they're trying to accuse me of doing.
Okay, I'm going to put down that you're going to hire your own lawyer. Do you have any other questions for me?
No. So you say you deny the bond for the aggravated assault?
Yes, because the allegation in this warrant is that you blocked Mr. Holsey in and then shot at him with a gun. And because of that allegation, right now I have to take everything as true and figure out where we go. So you're still presumed innocent, but there are certain types of behaviors that I can't just put you back out on the street without having a hearing on this.
All right. What's them dates again?
June 2nd and June 4th. Now, I don't know. You said it's high profile. I don't know anything about this. Your lawyer is the person that will be able to advocate on your behalf. And if there's something else to this, your lawyer can bring it to the district attorney's attention, and they may consent to a bond. Okay. All right. You're free to go back. Tell me your name, sir. Sorry, say that one more time.
Rico Clemens, sir.
Okay, Mr. Clemens, you're charged with 1 count of theft by conversion, 1 count of violation of Georgia Controlled Substance Act, and 1 count of possession of marijuana less than an ounce. I've set your total bond on these 3 charges at $8,500. Do you believe you can post that bond?
No, sir. I just started working. Could I get a reduction, or I do an OR bond, sir?
So you're in the same position as the other person, where I would have to continue your case over to tomorrow and request that from my chief, and she may say yes, she may say no.
How much is that For me to pay for a bond. I go to the bond.
Probably be about $900, somewhere around in there. But you would have to contact the bonding companies. And I know they put people on payment plans. They work with people. They do, you know, their job is to get people out.
I'll try.
Okay, you're going to have a, excuse me, June 2nd preliminary hearing date because the theft by conversion is a felony offense. That date will get waived upon your bonding out and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
Okay. About how much do you make per month or per hour?
That's the job is just of a week is $800 a week, sir.
Okay, you do qualify. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions for me?
No, sir. I'm gonna try to make bail.
Okay, you're free to go. Have your name?
Rodney Crates.
Okay. Mr. Clayton, you're charged with 1 count of simple battery, 1 count of theft by taking. You're going to have a total bond set at $5,000. Can you post that bond?
My bond be reduced.
No.
And then the reason why I'm saying is because like before I got arrested, yesterday pulled over. Before I got pulled over, this is my child's mother. She called me and asked me what I was doing, basically talking normal after she done did all the case thing. And then I told her, instead of like when me and I was arguing, I told her what her weapon was in her house, and she found, you know, she has it.
Okay, but there's a battery component to this, and I'm going to have to put a stay away provision on this to stay away from Kiara Anderson.
Mm-hmm.
She alleged that you punched her in the face and stole her gun.
But she has the gun.
I don't know that. I mean, this is why we don't try these cases here, because I can't determine facts.
I'm saying, same way they pulled up to see to get the case, whatever the risk, the same way they can pull up and actually see the gun and they did.
That's the arrest now.
So, Mr. Clayton, do you want me to appoint a lawyer to you because that's the person that defends you?
Yeah.
Okay, you do qualify. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. So, all of the stuff that you just told me, tell that to the lawyer, and these charges will get thrown out.
That's what I'm saying. I'll be able to get my money back for bonding out on something that I don't have.
So, you can pay the whole amount of the bond and get your money back, or you can use a bonding company and not get your money back, or you can sit in jail believing that these charges are going to get dismissed, and if they get dismissed, you walk out.
I'd rather bond out because I'm gonna lose more money seeing him.
I think that's a wise choice. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you, and you're free to go back.
Right back, sir. Right back, sir. Right back.
Okay, we have Ms. Tolles on the line. Let's bring up the individual we have who needs the interpreter. Mr. Frias. Good afternoon, Ms. Tolles. How are you?
Good afternoon, Your Honor. How are you today?
Well, there was a woman on the lady's side, and I continued her case until tomorrow because we didn't get the notice until late. So I'm going to make sure that you know now. Well, I guess it won't be you, but whomever is going to be there tomorrow, we'll just make the request today. So I just have one person for you now.
Okay.
And his last name is Frias.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Frias, can you hear and understand the interpreter?
Señor Frías, buenas tardes. ¿Puede usted oír y entender a la intérprete?
Sí, señora.
Yes, sir.
This is your first appearance hearing before the Magistrate Court of Clayton County.
Señor, esta es su comparecencia inicial en la sala menor del Tribunal de Primera Instancia del Condado de Clayton.
My name is Brad Gardner, and I'm a judge in this court.
Yo soy Brad Gardner, soy un juez en este tribunal.
I'm not here to take a plea in your case or conduct a trial of your case.
No estoy aquí para aceptar una declaración de acusaciones en su caso, tampoco para tener un juicio en su caso.
I am here to inform you of the charges that have been filed against you,
Estoy aquí para informarle de las acusaciones formuladas en su contra,
to advise you of certain rights,
para avisarle o informarle de ciertos derechos,
to set bail on those offenses that I'm authorized to set bail,
para imponerle fianza para las acusaciones las cuales tengo la autorización de imponerle fianza,
to schedule a preliminary hearing,
para programar la audiencia preliminar
and to determine whether you require the assistance of an attorney.
y también para determinar si usted requiere el asesoramiento de un abogado.
You've been charged with one count of loitering or prowling,
A usted se le acusa de una infracción de merodear o holgazanear.
the bond is automatically set at $1,000.
La fianza se impone automáticamente de $1,000.
You can post this bond using cash, commercial, or property.
Y usted podría depositar esa fianza al depositar dinero en efectivo, tramitarlo a través de una compañía comercial de fianzas o al poner de garantía un inmueble.
If you post cash, you will have to give the full amount of the bond and fees to the sheriff of Clayton County.
Si va a hacer un depósito de efectivo, tiene que entregar el total a la fianza más las tarifas a la oficina del sheriff del condado de Clayton.
The sheriff will hold the money and return it to you when the case is over.
El sheriff guarda los fondos y se los devuelve una vez que el caso se concluye.
You can also use a commercial bonding company.
También puede utilizar una de las compañías comerciales para fianza.
You will be required to pay a fee to the company for their service.
La compañía requiere que usted le pague una tarifa de servicio.
The fee will not be returned.
Esa tarifa no se le devuelve.
I don't know the exact amount of the fee, but it's usually based upon a percentage of the bond.
No sé la cantidad exacta de la tarifa, pero suele basarse en la base de la fianza.
You can also use property to post a bond.
También usted podría utilizar una propiedad para depositar su fianza.
If you use property to post a bond, the property has to have a value at least 3 times the bond amount.
Y si va a usar una propiedad para la fianza, esa propiedad tiene que contar con un valor que es por lo menos 3 veces lo que es la fianza.
Do you know if your family has posted bond yet?
Señor, ¿usted sabe si su familia ya depositó la fianza para usted?
No van a depositar nada porque yo no he hablado con mi familia, no he hablado con mi esposa, con nadie, no voy a hablar con nadie.
They're not going to post anything because I haven't spoken to my family. I haven't spoken to my wife. I haven't spoken to anyone.
Okay, when this hearing is over, you will be allowed to use the phone.
Está bien, señor. Una vez que se concluya esta audiencia, a usted se le van a permitir utilizar el teléfono.
Ok, gracias, pero no lo voy a usar porque mi esposa y yo ahorita estamos separados. Es la razón por la que estaba en los apartamentos esos. Hace como 2 semanas nos separamos, no tengo nadie más que hablarle.
Thank you, but I won't be making a call because right now my wife and I are separated. For that reason, I was in that apartment complex, so I won't be able to call her.
Okay. Would you like for me to appoint a lawyer to represent you?
Está bien, señor. Quisiera, señor, que yo le nombre un abogado de oficio para representarlo.
¿Y es posible?
If it's possible, that's fine.
Yes, sir. I will appoint a lawyer to represent you.
Sí, señor, le voy a nombrar un abogado para representarlo. Thank you so much.
you're going to have a preliminary hearing date set for June 1st at 8:30 in the morning.
Usted tendrá una audiencia preliminar programada para el 1 de junio a las 8:30 de la mañana.
If you're able to bond out, that date will get waived and you'll get a new date in the mail.
Si llega a salir bajo fianza, esa fecha se renunciará y usted recibirá la notificación de la siguiente audiencia por correo.
So make sure the sheriff's department has a good address for you.
Entonces, por favor, asegure que el departamento del sheriff cuenta con su dirección correcta para poder enviarle la notificación.
During
Okay,
this,
thank you.
you're welcome. During this and all other proceedings, you will have the following rights.
De nada, señor. Durante esta audiencia y cualquier audiencia futura, usted tendrá los siguientes derechos.
The right to the presumption of innocence.
El derecho a ser presunto inocente.
The right to indictment by grand jury for most felonies or by accusation for misdemeanors.
El derecho a que se le formula una acusación formal a través del jurado de indagación y el derecho a que proceden en su contra. Actually, Your Honor, I'm going to repeat. I made a mistake. If you don't mind, I'm going to repeat that line.
Sure.
Usted tiene derecho a que proceden en su contra con una acusación formal formulada por el jurado de indagación cuando se trata de delitos graves o que proceden en su contra a través de una acusación general cuando se trata de infracciones menores.
The right to a speedy and public trial by jury.
El derecho a un juicio público y sin demora ante un jurado.
The right to see, hear, and question witnesses who are called to testify against you.
El derecho a ver, a escuchar y a interrogar, contrainterrogar a los testigos convocados a declarar en su contra.
The right to compel the attendance of witnesses to testify on your own behalf.
El derecho de obligar que se presenten testigos para que declaren en su favor.
The right to testify on your own behalf or offer evidence in your own defense.
El derecho que usted mismo dé testimonio en su propia defensa o presentar pruebas en su propia defensa.
The right to have an attorney represent you.
El derecho a un abogado que lo represente.
If you cannot afford an attorney, one can be appointed to represent you, and I've already made that determination.
Si no puede costear el servicio de un abogado, se le puede designar uno de oficio y ya designé un abogado para usted.
Any questions?
¿Alguna pregunta, señor? No.
Okay, sir, you're free to go back.
Muy bien, señor, ya se puede retirar, gracias. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Tolles. Have a
Thank
good
you,
day.
Your Honor. I hope you have a wonderful weekend.
You too.
Excuse me, Your Honor, we need to put someone else in the schedule, Mr. Satterfield. He's in a wheelchair in front of a couple of people whose last name is Satterfield.
Okay. Mr. Satterfield, sir, you've been charged with 1 count of violation of Georgia Controlled Substance Act and 1 count of possession of marijuana less than an ounce. I've set the bond at $5,500. Can you pay that bond?
Then we have to get a reduction. The only other time I've been in Clayton County in trouble was littering.
Okay. Because this is a minor drug offense or possession, it's still a felony, but I'm going to reduce the meth charge. I'm going to reduce the bond down to $2,000. So you have a total bond of $3,500. Do you believe you can post that? Okay. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
All right, you do qualify, Mr. Satterfield. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. You're going to have a preliminary hearing date set for June 2nd at 8:30 in the morning. If you're able to bond out, that date will get waived. You should speak to the lawyer when you get an opportunity, because these are drug-related offenses. I'm certain they probably can work something out with the district attorney's office to get you out of here before those dates. Well, you can, again, I can put you on for tomorrow, and I can make the request to my chief, and if she says yes, yes. If she says no, you still have this bond. So that's what you want me to do? Okay, I'll put you on for tomorrow.
Is he done, Your Honor?
Yes, sir. Goodness gracious. Are you Mr. Foster? Tell me your name, sir.
Richard Foster.
Okay, Mr. Foster, you're charged with 1 count of loitering or prowling and 1 count of criminal trespass. I've set a total bond at $2,000. Do you believe you can post that bond? You're going to have a preliminary hearing date set for June 1st at 8:30 in the morning, but that date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir. I was going to see if I can get an OR bar.
Okay, same rules apply. I'll ask, and I'll just set you back on for tomorrow.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.
State your name.
How you doing, Your Honor? My name is James Gonzalez Rosa.
How are you doing, Mr. Gonzalez Rosa?
Doing all right.
You're charged with 1 count of criminal damage to property in the 2nd degree. And I believe this is being charged as a felony. Hold on, give me 1 second. Yes, this is being charged as a felony. The bond is going to be set at $4,000. Do you believe you can post that bond?
Yes, sir, I can.
Okay, there's going to be a stay away provision on the bond to stay away from Ebony Yancey. Do you understand that?
Yes, I know I'm not supposed to discuss my case, but she was working on dropping the charges, and I don't want to say anything else, but she said she was working on dropping the charges. So how does that work? Can you tell me anything?
So, well, I'll explain it to you in the easiest way. Do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
No, I just want to bond out. I'd rather just bond out and deal with it later.
Okay, I'm trying to answer your question, but I got to answer it in a specific way, because I'm not here to give you legal advice.
I understand. So, it's fine. I'll just bond out and get a lawyer when I'm out. And
okay.
We'll go on from there and see what's going on. But I will stay away from her. I will. Okay.
So you're gonna have a preliminary hearing date set for June 1st at 8:30. A preliminary hearing date set for June 1st at 8:30 in the morning. The date will get waived upon you bonding out, and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Do you have any other questions for me, Mr. Gonzalez Rosa?
I will be getting a phone call to call someone.
Yes, sir.
Okay, well, to make sure, because I didn't get a phone call when I first got in.
You after this proceeding, they will allow you to use the phones.
Okay. All right.
Okay. You're free to go back, sir.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
State your name.
My name is Carl James. Good morning, Judge.
Mr. James, good morning. You're charged with 1 count of cruelty to animals. I'm setting the bond at $2,000. Do you believe you can post that bond? Okay, you're going to have a preliminary hearing date set for June 1st at 8:30 in the morning. That date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you do qualify. Mr. James, I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions of me?
Same as him. I was trying to make phone calls yesterday that was free, but I don't have any money on me to put on my books. I just want to make sure that I can call people is getting out, that's all.
You will be allowed to use the phones when you go back down after this proceeding.
Free? Because I know they say you have to put some money on it.
I honestly, I don't know. Whatever the sheriff's department told you, that's the policy that you're going to need to follow. Okay. Anything else?
No, sir.
Okay, you're free to go back. Tell me your name. Spell that last name.
K-O-R-N-E-G-O-R.
Okay. I have dismissed this charge because there's no victim named in the warrant, and that's a technical defect, but it doesn't meet the elements. So when they get this paperwork, the charges are going to be dismissed. Okay, free to go back. Mr. Lepin, sir, is your mother Miss Robles? Okay. She's reached out to the court, and I was on the bench, so I wasn't able to speak with her, but she's let me know that you're under the care of a doctor. What medications are you taking?
Sertraline isn't really the only one that I'm taking right now. Sertraline.
Okay. I am going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you know if your mother was planning on hiring a lawyer?
I haven't spoken to her since last night, so I was planning on calling her after this session.
Okay, I am going to appoint a lawyer to represent you because of what I understand that you may need assistance. You're going to have a $3,000 bond set on this offense. There's going to be a stay away provision on the bond to stay away from Nicholas Horn. Do you understand that?
Okay.
Your mother indicated that maybe there's some place that you should be where you can receive help, and I guess that she's going to try to make that happen. You're going to have a preliminary hearing date set for June 1st at 8:30 in the morning. That date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Do you have any questions of me?
You said, did she say anything about me being bonded out, or I'm staying here for a month?
No, as I said, I was on the bench and I just received an email that she had called about your condition. So you're going to be able to call her, and I believe we may be able to reach out to her just to let her know what has happened and what you should be looking forward to. So are there any other questions?
What, the bonding is $3,000?
Yes, sir.
For just that charge, right?
Yes, sir. And I will let her know the bond amount just so that she will know.
Okay.
All right. Any other questions? Okay, you're free to go back, sir. Tell me your name, sir.
You want to take the bill?
Mr. McNeil, you're charged with one count of criminal trespass. I've set the bond at $3,000. Do you believe you can post that bond? I'm sorry?
Yes, sir.
There's going to be a stay away provision on the bond to stay away from a Maisha cramp. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
You're going to have a preliminary hearing date set for June 1st at 8:30 in the morning. That date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Would you like me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
No, sir.
You're going to hire your own lawyer?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Do you have any questions for me, Mr. McNeil? All right, you're free to go back. Tell me your name, sir.
Malik Muhammad, good morning, Mr. Gardner.
Mr. Muhammad, I have dismissed this charge. It was another same thing as being like a technical violation. They just named the victim in here as Joshua, and that's insufficient. Okay.
I believe it was because someone used my name. I've been locked up. I don't know a Joshua. But I wanted to also ask another question because I waived my preliminary back on March 4th with you since I've been locked up since then. My preliminary date was April 20th. April 20th is coming up and I've been sitting here for a little while. And last time I was locked up here, I signed a 5-day time served, but I had spent about 40 plus days in this jail. I've been jumped by gang members multiple times in this jail. I'm currently in segregation for a fight with one of these gang members. So I'd like to see if I can get an OR bond if you can put me on that list for a continuation tomorrow.
So, Mr. Muhammad, the charge that's being dismissed is related to an allegation of a fight within the jail. So the person that they listed as Joshua, they don't name the person other than the first name. So that's why that's getting dismissed.
I didn't understand, sir. I apologize. Okay.
If you're on for a preliminary hearing, all of this stuff can get addressed on that date.
I waived my preliminary though, sir. And I just don't understand why I haven't been in court yet. Every Tuesday they call everybody for misdemeanor court except me. And April 20th, I waived my preliminary because it's my grandmother's birthday. I would have just sat and waited on it. But I'm just trying to make sure every time I ask the person in the booth for my court date, it says no new court date. I'm just hoping I'm not being forgot about.
Well, generally that's why I set court dates so that because I don't know what happens once you leave before me. And if you leave without a court date, then you're just waiting to get a court date.
Yes, sir. And also Lloyd Matthews is my appointed lawyer. I can never get in contact with him in the jail. The Lloyd's either on lockdown or I get put in segregation. I can't use the phone. I can't get in contact. He never picks up when I'm on free time. I just need to know when I'm getting court because I know my charge is so minor. I will go home when I go to court. Time served.
And just so you know, Mr. Muhammad, the people that were asking for that OR consideration, they were basically, it appeared that they were all arrested at a house where homeless people were living.
I understand, sir. I'm also considered homeless. I'm not a resident of Georgia.
I don't see you in here. I'm looking at the just the oh, that's why. On the wrong side. Hold on. So, Mr. Muhammad, I think, looks like you have 3 pending cases.
3.
Yes, the one today that's going to be dismissed, the one from March that you're referring to, and then there's one that was bound over to, let's see. So it says that this case,
Because I just got out for another case on February 23rd, if that's what you're referring to, a criminal trespass.
Right.
I got out for that. I signed a 5-day time served, but I spent about 40+ days. Right now I'm in on criminal damage. Came in March 3rd. Spoke to you March 4th. I apologize. I'm just trying to figure out when I go to court.
It doesn't show.
Yeah, I don't feel comfortable just riding out, not knowing when I'm gonna go to court. So my original preliminary date was April 20th, but I waived it. I'm just not too sure what's going on with my case. I can't talk to my attorneys.
I will, I'm gonna continue you over to tomorrow.
Thank you, sir.
Actually, I'm gonna do an order for you to be brought back because this dismissal, it needs to go ahead and get entered into the system. So I'll do an order for you to be brought back tomorrow, and I'll have an opportunity to look at this and get an answer.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it.
Okay, you're free to go back.
Thank you.
Tell me your name, sir. Okay, Mr. Noble, you're charged with 1 count of family violence battery and 1 count of terroristic threats or acts. I'm going to set the bond at $5,000 for each of these. And there's going to be a stay away provision to stay away from Nicola Smith and also to stay away from Ebony Slaughter. Do you understand that? The terroristic threats or acts is a felony offense, so you're going to have a bond hearing date. Preliminary hearing date set for June 2nd at 8:30 in the morning. That date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer? Okay. If you qualify, sir, I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions of me?
No, I'm okay.
Okay, you're free to go back. Have your name, sir? Okay, Mr. Sanchez, you're charged with 1 count of criminal trespass, damage to property in the 2nd degree, and 1 count of criminal damage to property. You're going to have a total bond set at $10,000. You're going to have a stay away provision on this bond to stay away from a Donisha Rux and a Yosia Rux. Do you understand that?
Can I reduce it? And why I say that is because me and Donisha Rux are still together, and it's only been 2 months ago, and I just spent $3,800. I got her 4 brand new tires. I got her the iPhone, and I just bought for a brand new engine. And I have all the receipts, so I can bring them to court if you need me to, sir.
I'm not going to reduce this, Mr. Sanchez. I understand that you bought her new tires, but you shouldn't be out here slashing people's tires. And you shouldn't be out here throwing people's phones, breaking their phones.
I understand that, but I replaced all that. That's why I'm asking at least $1,000 reduction.
Mr. Sanchez, if you had never done this, you wouldn't have to replace anything, and you wouldn't be before me.
I understand.
So, I mean, this is not like a drug offense or something like this. This is something where you made the decision to slice 3 of somebody's tires, and you made the decision to break somebody's phone. So when you say, Judge, you know, cut me a break, it just sounds to me like if you get mad, you break stuff.
No, I don't do that, sir. It's just like, you know, me and my baby mama been doing good for the past 3-4 months now. This happened when, like, December, and you know, if she called the police on me, but like within the next 2 weeks, you know, I replaced all that. She tried to drop the charges, and you know, she called the courts and they said she wasn't able to drop them because, you know, she already had filed a police report. So, you know, I'm just here now. Like, everything's replaced. I can show you the receipts on my court date. I can bring her up as a, you know, as a witness to talk to you, and, you know, because she tried to drop the charges.
Let me say it in another way, Mr. Sanchez. I want the next time that you get upset with your baby mama, you're gonna think about this money that you had to spend to bond out. That's what I want you to think about. Okay, I don't want you to think that, well, I'll just be able to say something and it'll get taken care of. I paid for it, it's taken care of. So this is one of these is a felony. So you're gonna have a preliminary hearing date set for June 2nd. I can appoint a lawyer if you want me to, or you can hire your own lawyer. Which one do you want me to, huh?
I would like a lawyer.
Okay, I'm going to appoint a lawyer. I'm not going to reduce the bond. Is there anything else?
If I go through bond, then how much would it be?
Probably about $1,000.
$1,000. All right. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
Hey, Your Honor, Kenneth Rooks, sir.
Okay, Mr. Rooks, you're charged with 1 count of criminal trespass and 1 count of battery. You're gonna have a total bond set at $10,000. Do you believe you can post that bond?
No, is there any way I can get a reduction?
No, no. People need to stop beating on people, and you won't need a reduction.
I'm saying for the criminal trespass, I can understand the battery. I'm saying for the criminal trespasses, sir. Because they allowed me to come back.
I'm reading it. I'm reading it.
That's when they arrested me. I was in the house. She allowed me to come back.
Okay, so because the allegation on the criminal trespass is that you returned, I'm going to reduce that down to $2,000. So you're going to have a total bond of $8,000, but there's going to be a stay away provision on this bond to stay away from Kimberly Cullins. Do you understand that?
They don't do ORs on criminal trespassing, sir?
Okay, do you want to sit in jail while I ask my boss and bring you back tomorrow with her answer?
Yes, I can do that also. Please, I'm trying to get out of here. If she don't do the OR,
I'm gonna tell you, I doubt that she's gonna agree to an OR bond, but she's the boss. And if you want to sit in jail another day for me to ask, then because Mr. Rooks, so if I continue you and you decide tonight that you're gonna bond out, you won't be able to bond out. You'll have to come back tomorrow.
I won't be able to bond out tonight. I already know that.
I'm sorry?
I won't be able to bond out tonight. I already know that.
Okay, so I'm gonna pretty much tell you, Mr. Rooks, if you want me to ask, I'll ask.
Yes.
But I doubt that she's gonna grant you an OR reduction.
On the criminal trespass, that's all. Okay, just say keep it as
Okay, so you got $8,000 bond. There's a stay away provision on Kimberly Cullins. June 2nd is your preliminary hearing date because it's a felony.
The felony?
The criminal, I'm sorry.
They're both misdemeanors.
They have you charged with family violence battery as a felony.
They charged me 2 misdemeanors as I came in.
Okay, they've charged you on the 16-5-23.1 F2.
Yeah, when I got booked in, they told me they were both misdemeanors.
Okay, hold on. Under certain conditions, a battery can become a felony. And I'll read it to you. Okay, it is a misdemeanor. They had it written as a felony, but it's a misdemeanor. So that's going to change the preliminary hearing date to June 1st. Okay?
Does it change the bond as well?
No, sir.
Well, misdemeanor, okay.
So it says you punched this woman in the face and busted her upper and lower lip. Mr. Rooks, why are you asking me as if this is like you gave a kid some candy?
You're right, sir.
Okay. All right. You're free to go back. Wait. Did I make the determination as to whether you
No, sir. May I ask another question, Your Honor?
Hold on 1 second. Do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer? Okay. I'm gonna find that you qualify. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. So now, Mr. Rooks, what is it you want to ask me?
If I was to waive my prelim, do I get a quicker court date?
You just heard this young gentleman that waived his prelim, and he's now sitting. So you can waive it, but you don't have a guarantee of a new court date.
Oh, no, I ain't doing that.
Okay. All right, you're free to go back.
Good morning.
Hi, tell me your name, sir. I'm sorry.
Marvin Simon.
Mr. Simon, you're charged with 1 count of violation of Georgia Controlled Substance Act and 1 count or use or possession of drug-related objects. I am unable to set a bond on a felony offense at this point because there's an indication that you're on probation. There's also a warrant for your arrest out of Lawrenceville. Hold on. Let me finish and then I'll let you talk and then we can go back and forth. All right. You're going to have a preliminary hearing date set for June 2nd at 8:30 in the morning. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer? All right, you do qualify. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Now, what is it that you were going to tell me?
When it comes to my probation, I just had an incident at my job. This is kind of why I'm saying this because I kind of need a line so I can go back to work. And I also take care of my grandmother and I help the mother of my child support him. So I kind of, if there's any way I need a bond, but with the probation, the situation that happened at my job, they had to run my name. It came back as a warrant. This was back from 2019, and I was in the car with the officers. They were on the phone with the warrant office. They said they don't want me, and they're not sure why the warrant is even still active. But they did say that I just have to talk to my probation officer. But even when I call her, she don't answer. But Gwinnett Jail did say they don't want me and that there's no real reason for the warrant to be active. So I'm not.
So you're not being held because of a warrant. You're being held because it says that you're still under probation. And if you're charged with a felony offense or a crime of misdemeanor, crime of violence like battery, and it's showing that you're on probation, I cannot set a bond at this stage. You can get and this is how crazy the law works. You can get a bond tomorrow at another hearing or a consent, but you can't get a bond on a first appearance hearing if you're on probation. So yes, sir.
I do a continuous or anything. Would there be a chance?
No, because it'll still be a first appearance hearing.
So
okay.
The next hearing on June is when I will be able to get a bond more than likely.
Well, what has happened before is the lawyer calls the probation officer. Probation officer says, hey, I'm cool with him getting back on probation. Lawyer then calls the district attorney's office and says, I've spoken to the probation officer. This is the person's name. They're cool with him getting the bond. They consent to a bond and you get out.
Okay. Okay. And
okay.
How much is the you said the first bond is what for the misdemeanor?
$1,500.
And how much is the bond for usually for the possession?
Well, so had you not had that probation and I was able to set a bond, I probably would have set the bond at $3,000 on that offense.
So I'd be looking at about
$4,500.
About $450.
Yes. Get your probation situation fixed.
I've honestly been trying, Your Honor, and when I first tried to call her, after them reassigning me a probation officer, she said she would be in the office March 8th. It's now April 14th. Left messages numerous days. She doesn't answer the phone. I really don't know what to do. But when that county itself is like, well, we don't want them, so let them go. Like I was in heck, like I don't know what to do.
You can contact the judge that put you on probation and tell them that, I'm sorry?
Maybe he's retired, if I'm not mistaken.
So their seats don't go empty. Your file is still there. So somebody can look at your file and they can say, all right, we want to get this young man off of probation. He's living his life well. As long as it's hanging over your head, you're going to keep running into this issue until it gets fixed. Okay?
All right, Ron.
All right, you're free to go back.
Next man. Next man.
Joel Spain.
Okay, Mr. Spain, you've been charged with loitering or prowling, violation of the Georgia Controlled Substance Act, obstructing an officer, use or possession of drug-related objects. Your bond is going to be set at $7,500. Do you believe you can post that bond?
I can work at it, y'all. I was wondering if I can get a little bit down for the obstruction because I had a dog in my hand and the dog was pulling me. I'm trying to tell the officer that the dog was pulling me. I wasn't running from him, but they charged me with obstruction for running, but I had the dog, you know what I'm saying? And I stopped and I calmed the dog down and gave him the dog.
So I'm not going to do it, Mr. Spain. I don't know what's so great about this address, but I think 10 people were arrested at this address yesterday.
Some apartments and
okay. I mean, I'm not going to reduce it. And we can spend time going around and around, or we can move to the next step. Okay. You're going to have a preliminary hearing date set for June 2nd at 8:30 in the morning. That date will get waived upon your bonding out and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer? All right, I'm going to find you qualify. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any other questions of me? $7,500. Okay, you're free to go back. You're Keith Spain? Okay, sir, you've been charged with 1 count of loitering or prowling. The bond is automatically set at $1,000. Can you post that bond?
Yes, I think it can.
Okay, you're gonna have a preliminary hearing date set for June 1st at 8:30 in the morning. That date will get waived upon your bonding out and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer? Okay, you do qualify. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions of me?
None.
Okay, sir, you're free to go back. All right, tell me your name, sir. Mr. Turner, you're charged with 1 count of robbery, 1 count of theft by receiving stolen property, and 1 count of possession of a weapon during a handgun by a person under the age of 18. I'm dismissing the theft by receiving stolen property charge, but I'm denying bond on the robbery charge at this point. I'm going to set a $5,000 bond on the possession of weapon by a person under the age of 18. So the robbery, there was a warrant out for your arrest for robbery based upon the allegation that on April 8th that you were hanging out at a Arrowhead pawn shop and that a person bought a gun and that you ran out the door and snatched the, I'm just telling you the allegation, okay? That you ran out the door, snatched the bag, and that you left. A couple days later, you were stopped with some other dudes or young people in a car. And that's when they decided to run the gun, and the gun came back as being stolen from this Arrowhead pawn in the parking lot of the Arrowhead pawn shop. The officer went back to the Arrowhead pawn shop and got surveillance video. And through the surveillance video, they apparently identified you as being the person that was in the store shortly before the guy walked out the store and had the gun stolen from him. They then contacted the person who had the gun stolen from him and put you in a lineup, and he identified you as being the person that took the gun. So the reason the theft by receiving stolen property charge is being dismissed is because they're charging you with robbery and theft by receiving having the same gun. The robbery charge, being the more serious charge, takes precedence over the theft by receiving stolen property. So I'm not asking you to agree that this stuff happened, but do you now understand why you're being charged with this?
Yes, sir. But they put me in a lineup with people who are all black. I'm light skinned.
Well, I mean, it says in the warrant that the officer identified you in the video, and then that's how the officer put it together. So that's the allegation. You're going to have a preliminary hearing date set for June 2nd at 8:30 in the morning. You're going to have a bond hearing date set for June 4th at 8:30 in the morning. Do you want me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer?
I already have a lawyer, I believe.
Okay, who's your lawyer?
Christopher Harris.
I'm sorry?
Christopher Harris.
Okay. Any questions of me, sir?
So I'm going to be here till June?
Well, I mean, I just gave you the allegation. That's how you're here. If that didn't happen, your lawyer should be able to beat this. Okay? All right, you're free to go back. Are you Mr. Walker? Sir, you've been charged with 1 count of loitering or prowling and 1 count of use of possession of drug-related objects. You're going to have a total bond set at $2,500. Do you believe you can post that bond? You're going to have a preliminary hearing date set for June 1st at 8:30 in the morning. That date will get waived upon your bonding out, and you'll get a new court date in the mail. Would you like for me to see if you qualify for the appointment of a lawyer? Are you currently working?
No, sir.
Okay, you do qualify. I'm going to appoint a lawyer to represent you. Do you have any questions of me?
Oh, yeah, in 2000, how much I got come with the bond time?
That's about $300.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, you're free to go back.
All right, sir.
You should do it, sir.
Okay, thank you.